Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and welcome, people, to the next episode of I'd Buy That for a Bastard. And this week, we're covering Robocop. Who am I joined by?
Becky, hello everyone.
And who else am I joined by?
Bum 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 ba ba bum 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 ba. Ian Loring.
It's a fucking cracking score, this movie, isn't it?
Oh, hell yeah.
So we're going to chat some Robocop. It is the second episode, isn't it, Becky?
It is.
As you've just informed me. Of our Verhoeven marathon. Or our English language Verhoeven marathon, should I say. So yes, as always, patrons, thank you very much for Patreoning. So Robocop. What is it about? I think we all know, but I'm still going to find out what IMDb says it's about, because these are funny. Let's have a look. Robocop. I just had this open a second ago, then closed it for some reason.
Don't matter.
In a dystopic and crime-ridden Detroit, a terminally wounded cop returns to the force as a powerful cyborg haunted by submerged memories.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
That's not too bad, yeah. So it's Verhoeven, it's Peter Weller, it's Nancy Allen, it's Ronnie Cox, it's Kurtwood Smith, it's Miguel Ferrer. It's fucking Robocop.
Fucking Robocop.
Ian, what's your relationship with Robocop? Like, how did you first watch it?
I have no fucking idea how I first watched Robocop.
I was just thinking, I hope you don't ask me that, because I haven't got a fucking clue either.
No, it's bizarre. I honestly really could not tell you. And I've watched Robocop like a great number of times. But you know, I could tell you when I first watched a lot of films, but Robocop, no fucking idea, mate. Probably not too young, I'll say that. I feel like it's one that I feel like it might be one that I kind of first watched in like secondary school when I like smoking a lot of weed or something like that. And that's why I can't really remember it very well.
That seems like a good way to watch Robocop.
Becky?
Yeah.
When did you first watch Robocop?
No fucking clue, Mark.
Did I make you watch it the first time, or had you already seen it?
You didn't make me watch it. I mean, you didn't like fucking Clockwork Orange, mate.
Ludovico technique.
But yes, you introduced me to it, yeah.
Right, cool. I think I did watch this way too young. I think I was like literally in like primary school when I watched this.
Actually, do you know what? I think I might have watched the first bit of it when I was quite young, because it looks like your average kind of sci-fi.
Well, not only that, there was
dystopian
literally a Robocop cartoon out when we were young.
And I think my dad might have put it on one Saturday night for like family film night, and then obviously there's a lot of tits and murder fairly early on, so I think that might have been my first introduction to it. That does ring a bell. Awkward, like, switch off.
Yeah.
Your dad would have just been like, tits them, son.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I watched it about like 9 or 10 or something like that.
That does not surprise me in the slightest.
It was It was very much like I've said this before on the podcast, but it was very much a playground movie. So it was a movie that was on TV, and everyone kind of snuck and worked out a way to watch it, so that they could talk about it the next day at school.
Because that. Oh, sorry, Bex, go on.
I was just going to say, it was easier back in the olden days to do that. If you had a TV in your room and it was tuned to the terrestrial channels, if it was on like Channel 4 at 11 o'clock at night, you kind of could do that, couldn't you? Whereas now, like, you'd have to have parental fucking
controls,
passwords and all sorts of shit. Poor kids.
Fuck them.
Because, I mean, that's the thing. Like, Aliens was that film for me, like, where like we all watched it way too young. That and Terminator 2, like, so you know, I've got a boner for Cameron, you know, and it's hard on for Cameron. Fuck, Scream 2 line that I got wrong. It is like, it's Sarah Michelle Gellar turns to him. It's like, you got a real hard on for Cameron. Yeah, yes. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Fuck. Anyway. But yeah, so that's me. But Robocop, not so much. And I do wonder whether it is just because, like, it is sci-fi, but it is also real people getting shot up in fucking horrific ways. Whereas, like, Aliens is, you know, aliens, and Terminator 2 is a fucking robot man, you know, and a liquid metal man. You know, so, like, whether It just generally parents were a bit less permissive with Robocop.
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, like you say,
maybe.
I'd say this is more graphically violent, though.
Well, it's intentionally graphically violent, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean that would explain that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean go on, Ian.
No, I mean it's just in terms of like the graphic violence. I mean, like the fact that the guy who gets shot by Ed 209 towards the start, that whole scene took 2 days just to shoot the angles of him being shot up. 2 days.
It's brilliant. Verhoeven is literally just, he is so on point with this stuff though.
Yeah.
It's a perfect film.
Yeah.
Take a drink. It understands the assignment, but it also is. I mean, it's a fantastic fucking dystopian satire, but also, I don't know, like you know, J.D. Vance, the fucking hillbilly elegy dickhead.
Yes.
So, somebody tweeted something yesterday where it was like his latest campaign ad literally looks like something from Robocop, like that could have been in Robocop, and it's him basically going, "Are you racist? No, neither am I, but people are calling us racist. The radical left are absolutely foaming at the mouth, bringing in all sorts of dirty people and bringing in drugs and bringing in more liberals." Like, literally, he says, like, more Democrats, I think it is. Yeah, and it just, like, it is... Society is kind of going in that way. Like, the Yamaha heart.
Mm-hmm.
You could imagine Elon Musk going, like, here's a Tesla cock.
Yeah. But the thing is, you genuinely can.
Yeah. So, I mean, and that, which is incredibly upsetting. But, and the key thing is, unlike Flesh and Blood, this fucker is entertaining from minute 1 to minute 104.
I thought we enjoyed Flesh and Blood.
I admire what Flesh and Blood is doing.
Okay.
I can't say that I there were moments of it I found entertaining, but
is it because of all the raping, Ian?
The rape fuck fight was literally about to be mentioned. Yeah. But no, Robocop, it's entertaining. Like, all of it. It's perfect film. Perfect film.
I'd agree. It's flawless. It is ridiculously fun and ridiculously entertaining, whilst also being quite cutting.
It's also it's got an emotional side to it as well. Like, it is, as his memories start to come back to him and he starts remembering his life and realising that, you know, having to essentially come to terms with his mortality all over again, because he's remembered that he was a person and he died and he had a family. You know, it's really fucking sad. The bit where he gets killed is fucking awful. So violent. So very violent. So much shooting.
What I think was... What I always forget and then re-remember when I'm watching Robocop is just how quick that comes about.
Yeah.
It is like, 12 minutes into the film it happens. And because, you know, the problem is now is if you did... I mean, they literally did a remake of Robocop.
Did they?
Yeah. Like 2014.
Is it shit?
It's not as good as it probably should have been because they made it a PG-13.
Oh, gross.
But it's... The thing is, nowadays, they'd have to build more and create more backstory and bits like that nowadays to really hammer it home. Whereas with this, it establishes within like the first 10 minutes that he's got a kid, so you assume he's got a wife. You kind of have those little shots of him propped up in his memory as he's dying.
Yeah.
And so you're there going, do you know what? This guy's a good guy. He's got a kid. You're all right. You've developed a relationship with him straight away.
Yeah.
You don't need...
You can twiddle his gun.
Yeah, you don't need 20, 25 minutes before the shit gets real. Kind of thing.
Do you know what I noticed on this rewatch that I've not noticed before? Well,
What?
2 things. Just how many boobs there are on show in this film. On the bits where they're just walking through the streets and it's like, it's a dystopian future, so everyone has their tits out. That. And how fucking useless his partner is.
Oh, she's terrible. It's literally all her fault.
Like, there's 2 fight bits. Both of them, she flicks out on him, and that just is useless.
Yep.
Not noticed that before.
Yep. Also contains one of the grimmest death scenes of all time.
Oh, the
What,
melty
fucking
toxic
Paul
waste man.
McCrane?
Yeah. It is just grim.
Like, every fucking character is just absolutely spot on. Like, even down to the Miguel Ferrer's mate, who's fucking eating the Robocop food. Like the kind of like, it's like, it tastes like baby food, and the fucking thumbs up that he gives at the end to Robocop is just one of the funniest fucking quick cutaways I think I've ever seen. Just like Robocop blasts fucking old Ronnie Cox away, and then he's just there smiling and gives him a fucking thumbs up. It's great. I mean, Miguel Ferrer. Like, it's such a shame he gets killed off like halfway through because he's fucking amazing. But then Kurtwood Smith becomes like the other big character. It's like, do you know what? This is a perfectly decent trade.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Kurtwood Smith gets one of the greatest, genuinely one of the greatest line deliveries in cinema.
What? Bitches leave
Bitches
or the
leave.
tigers are... Oh, right, yeah.
It's just glorious.
Which is then referenced in Triple X. Like, I don't know why. I'll always remember that. There's just a subtitled bit where the bad guy in Triple X walks into a nightclub room and goes, "Bitches leave." And it's like, there you go, paying some respect to RoboCop there. It's the fact Clarence Bodicker. That's not the name of a bad guy. It's not the fucking look of a bad guy. But as soon as it's like, "Can you fly, Jimmy?" or whatever it is, it's just like, "Oh, you're a piece of shit. You are the
such
worst."
a good baddie, isn't he?
Oh yeah,
he's fucking magnificent. Do you know what? Do you know what? For some reason, I hadn't made the connection that this and like Total Recall are the same director. Watching it, knowing that, it's so obvious.
Oh yeah,
like from the effects and stuff. Like I just never really kind of. I'm not really it's directed by blah 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 kind of person. So I just never even like check. What like you?
What's wrong with blah 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 blah? You've done some great stuff.
But I'd never made the connection. But like with the makeup effects and the like practical effects that are in this, you can see it like plain as fucking day. I'm just clearly an idiot.
Yeah, it very much is.
I think you want to say, yeah, you are.
Yeah, right. Fuck you.
Yeah, bitch, you dumbass.
I mean, Total Recall, the mad thing is, we're going to talk about it next week, but it's basically like 3 and a bit times the budget of RoboCop.
Yeah.
And Verhoeven very much uses it.
Yeah. The effects, the practical effects, though, are fucking great. Like, I said to you, didn't I, at one point, can you imagine watching this then, like, in the late 80s? And, like, with the Ed 209 just kind of fucking walking around. And, like, you can see it now, but at the time, you wouldn't have been picking it apart. Like, we're film fans now, we are awful people, and we will look for, oh, that doesn't look right.
Yeah.
But when it's new, you don't really, do you? Like, you just, like... fucking wow.
Oh yeah, that's the beauty of it, you know.
That bit where Ed 209's at the top of the stairs, just like wiggling his toes around, trying to work out if he can get down. It's good.
Ed 209 may well be one of the most sympathetic characters in film history.
Poor Ed 209.
Because effectively, none of this is his fault.
No.
And he just gets he gets the shitty end of the deal.
He does, yeah. And he's there and he's just like wiggling his little toes and he's like, I know I can't get down, but if I don't try, that man's going to shout at me, so I'm going to try. And then he falls.
Yeah.
And then
it's a beautiful bit of animation, that as well. The kind of like the tentative, like stepping out with his fucking chickeny toes. Oh, it's great.
Well, it humanises, essentially, a killer fucking robot.
Yep.
It's a brilliant scene.
Who you've literally seen earlier in the movie just outright murder somebody.
Yeah. It wasn't his fault, though.
It wasn't his fault, no.
It's programmed wrong.
Yeah, Robocop is an absolute fucking masterpiece of 80s hyper-violence.
Yeah.
I mean, like, that ending, like, 30 seconds or so as well, just like the... Dick, you're fired. Thank you.
It's just but it even gets that bit down to a T as well.
Yeah.
Just with the over the top falling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is as well, like, there's no happy ending to be had here. You can't sit watching the movie and hope for a happy ending where they like fix him. He's not in there with like bionic heart and stuff like that. They've just basically scrapped him.
Yeah.
Haven't they? And there's no kind of...
Even those bits are really... Like, the bit where they're essentially building Robocop are really clever.
And they keep turning the screen on.
Yeah. But there's the scene where they put the... essentially, like, the computer screen on it.
Yeah.
And it's, like, really far out, and then you see it drilling, and it just keeps getting closer and closer.
Yeah.
And then the following the pen to get the movements. It's just really just clever, interesting filmmaking.
The bit where the screen comes on during the New Year's party.
Yeah.
Put a hat on him.
Yeah, but but all that, it's a montage scene shot from a first person view of Robocop. So you don't get to see them building Robocop, but you get to see the montage of them building Robocop.
Which is really a really clever way to do it, because showing them building Robocop, it would have looked hokey.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
you've got it's a really cheap way to do things, but still make you think that you've seen them building Robocop.
Yeah. No, it's fucking great.
And it's like Basil Polidoris absolutely smashing it with the score once again. Fucking just incredible work. I was almost thinking of going back and watching the remake again, but it just like you watch this and it's just like, what's the point?
Yep.
Like, what is the point? I mean, like, I can't remember who it was, but I listened to some like podcast once, and someone was saying that like, if you're going to remake a film, don't remake a great film. Remake a film that had great potential but squandered it.
Yeah.
And it's like with RoboCop, it is fucking pointless. Like you will not make a better RoboCop film than RoboCop. It is impossible. And so it turned out with the remake, and to be fair, with the sequels to this.
That's it. I contemplated watching sort of like looking back and watching the sequels as well, and then just thought, nah, seems like a waste. The sequels are either 2 being okay and 3 being just an absolute disaster. Why is it 3 where he can fly?
Yeah, and it's like what is it? It's like he teams up with a kid to stop like a fucking demolition project or something.
Yes. It's a PG-13.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's by that point it was a disaster.
There's some fucking great trivia on IMDb for this, actually.
Go on.
So, okay, hang on. Which one did I see first? Oh, so most shots of Robocop in the police car show him getting out or preparing to get in. Peter Weller didn't fit into the police car in full costume. When he needed to be in the car, he wore the top part of the costume and sat in his underwear. To maintain the illusion that Robocop wears the entire suit while inside a car, most shots show his robotic feet exiting first. What was the other one? Oh, they had to install an air conditioner inside the suit because it was too hot and heavy, and he was losing 3 pounds a day.
Fucking hell.
The Verhoeven diet. In Sacramento, California, a robbery suspect fled into a darkened movie theatre to escape pursuing police. He became so engrossed in this movie, which was playing on screen, that he failed to notice that police had evacuated all other patrons from the theatre. When the lights flipped on, the stunned man was taken into custody.
Hell yeah.
Oh, this is quite a good one.
Go on.
Because the hands of the Robocop suit were made of foam rubber, the car keys would bounce off of Peter Weller's hand every time he attempted to catch them. The production took up to 50 takes and an entire day's worth of filming before finally getting the shot right. In the hostage scene, as Robocop is walking toward the room where the former councilman is holding the mayor hostage, the infrared heat vision mode was actually executed using fluorescent body paint on the nude actors and a black light.
That's
The thing is, you can imagine Verhoeven doing that though as well, can't you?
He's painting people, naked people. With
that's funny.
No, it's good.
Right, so next week, Total Recall.
Hell yeah.
Recall. Do it that voice instead. I won't sing it. What?
Good. I do always like that bit in Total Recall where he hums the recall thing clearly before they've done the recall bit because it's a completely different tune.
The movie that has ruined the phrase 2 weeks for both of us because every time we just go 2 weeks.
Yeah. Very much looking forward to rewatching Total Recall for about a billionth time.
Yeah. I think I watched it literally last year, but I'll happily watch it again now.
I think we usually watch it about twice a year, don't we?
Yeah, we do, yeah.
So this will tick one off for this year.
It's a comfort film.
Fucking Moorish.
Yeah. Right. So thank you very much, patrons, and we shall speak to you next week with Total Recall.